and welcome. You're joining us for 2SRL Assetto Corsa, Season 1, Round 6. We're joining the guys in qualifying. We're seeing some times going on the board. Joining me today is TipsyBob.
Hello everyone.
So let's have a look. We've got Road America is the new course now. Me and Thimo, or me and Tipsy aren't really familiar with this, so they're kind of getting to grips with it as the race progresses. There's going to be 24 laps today. We've got just over 11 minutes left in qualifying. We have reports that Danico is the driver to watch out for today. He's apparently setting some blistering pace. We've got Thimo currently in pole position with a 1:30.717. Is a pretty fast time, but I think we were in practice. We saw Danny Coe with a 1:30 flat. So we'll keep an eye out for him. He's hit the pace on the board.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Chief, the only problem is that Danny's not here. Oh, just as soon as I said that, he has joined. So expect to see that first place spot changing soon, I would say. I was watching him on the practice sessions, and as you said, I'm not too familiar with this track. I think I've raced it in a long time ago, back in the day, but I don't really remember it. But watching Danny, he seems to be well clued into this track, and like you say, he seems to be the one to beat at the moment.
Yeah, but we have some other fast drivers here. Got Thimo and Terror, and Dead Pixels looking pretty pacey as well on this track. Also joining us today will be Triton and Cursed. And I believe there are a few other drivers. Coco Gamer, I think, is in session, and Cursed. Milos, the man himself. Let's see if he can survive this race today.
Yeah, Assetto Corsa is a real different animal altogether in terms of other racing games that you can play. The Formula 1 cars in particular are very, very difficult to control, and it does take an awful lot of practice to perfect the car. And then not only is it difficult to perfect a car over a lap, then the setup system in Assetto Corsa is much more advanced than other Formula 1 games like the Formula 1 official game. There's so much, you can change literally almost anything on the car, and so trying to set up the car, it takes a real art. And I know, for example, Terror, he's extremely good at it. So although Danny's on fire, Terror is certainly not to be ruled out just yet.
Yeah, just on board there with Triton as you were talking, and he's not able to better a time his current time, so he's pitted. Currently watching Cursed, he's 3.3 seconds off the pace currently. So he is definitely struggling, but with the release of F1 2019 during the week, I'm sure a lot of the guys haven't really spent much time in this game, as everybody's hyped about the new F1 game. So I think Danny, he's obviously had a lot of time on his hands and has been able to grind both games because he's pretty fast in both of them now. So, but I was having a look at the last. We're on round 6, so the previous rounds I've seen a domination from Terror. He's won 4 of the last 5 races. With Bants being the only other driver. Unfortunately, Bants is not joining us today. But shout out to Bants if you're out there watching, dude. You are missed today. He's another fast driver, one of these guys that can just show up without much practice and just make it look like a walk in the park. I think Hugo, I don't think Hugo's here today, is he?
No, Hugo's not here either.
Okay.
No, there's. Although it says. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm just saying, he was starting to show some real good form in this game. He came third in the last race there. So it's a shame to see him not here today.
Yeah, but Hugo's had a bit of bad luck in this game. I punted him, I think it was in Spain. Completely messed up my start. That wrecked him then. And then I think even in the races after that, he was getting punted by people, and kind of builds up a frustration in him, but I don't know why he's not here today. But just to touch on what you were saying there earlier about the new Formula One game, as I was chatting with the boys on Discord, Tara rightly pointed out that this Assetto Corsa League kind of was spawned due to the kind of the feelings of the previous Formula One game, the 2018, the sort of the bugs and the online experience. So people were pushing for this as Assetto Corsa Formula One, which is understandable because it is a fantastic format. But like you were just saying, this new Formula One 2019, as we're all getting the grips of it, it does seem a lot more polished and more accomplished. Um, Certainly, the multiplayer that I've done with the boys seems to be pretty good. So, if this new Formula One game takes the potential that we all hope it will, and it looks like it will, then it's quite possible that this Assetto Corsa League may just be a one-off.
Yeah, it'd be a shame because it does have some legs. It takes some time to just kind of grow it up a wee bit, get more people interested in it. But I think, yeah, I mean, it seems like a kind of series where you'd have to kind of dedicate yourself to it, you know, and put a lot of hours in.
Yeah, definitely. That's one of the reasons why I'm not really on it anymore because I just don't have the not only the time, but I'm just not that dedicated into trying to perfect the setup and you know and all that. Whenever I've got the Formula One game as well, so if you were going to try and make this a thing, you definitely need to generate more interest in terms of drivers. We need more drivers and more pretty accomplished drivers because this is not for the faint-hearted. Assetto Corsa, it is very difficult, especially to a casual gamer that wants to compete. I mean, you see Danny and Tara and Thimo, they are on fire. They would be very hard to catch for a casual gamer. Um, so yeah, a bit more. If there was more input into the game, more kind of interest, more people racing it, and high quality racing, then yeah, you could probably make it into something. But I just fear with the new Formula One came out, this won't really much come to much more really, because it is pretty good. It is a good game. But also just to touch on as well, that we were just saying off stream, it doesn't really lend itself well to broadcasting or spectating. It's kind of an awkward way of doing it. For me, anyway, I'm kind of sitting in the pits trying to watch guys, whereas I can't really. I don't know. It's not really set up for broadcasting this.
Yeah, it's yeah, because I mean, especially the start of the race, you know, where you have to quit out of the because it gives you a car, and so you're actually as a spectator, you're actually a driver. You don't have the option to spectate, so it's a quick escape out of the car, back to the pits, and then we can start broadcasting. So you kind of essentially miss the start of the race, but yeah, I think it does have legs, but it would need some it needs an injection of some new drivers. And in saying that though, it is good to see Danny showed up here today, and he's taking the risk of terror. He's got a 130.4 on the board, so he's already in pole position with that. Terror's not too far behind, 0.151. Oh, Danny goes even faster there for 130.3, so stretching his legs a little bit. But Terror is still out on track, trying to grind out a better lap time.
Yeah, as you're saying there, excuse me, as you're saying, it is really good to see Danny really, really. I kind of, in some respects, he's a perfect example of what practice in this game can do
Yeah.
because Tara has been untouchable in this, and the only ones who've been challenging Tara would have been Thimo, Hugo, and Bants. Of course, I don't have Bants at the moment. I don't know whether that's a long time thing. I don't know if Hugo's lost his interest in it. So it was kind of looking like Tara's going to run away with it. But now that we've got Danny on board, it could spice things up again. But it does definitely, when you look at the timesheets, it's a clear 3-horse race, really, at the moment. In terms of qualifying it initially, it's a 3-horse race.
Yeah, and you know, just from commentating past races, one thing I've noticed with Assetto Corsa is you know, the gaps, like it tends to be like everybody kind of, you know, the pace seems to be fairly consistent, so you'll find that like cars will there's not as much overtaking, and as a you know F1 2019, you would see a lot more back and forth. But with this one, it seems to be more kind of processionary, where it's. I kind of like it though, I like that kind of style of racing, where it's like you're really just chipping away at the smallest margins, and it really takes the driver in front to make a mistake or for you to like really set blistering pace, to catch him.
Well, I know it. I agree with you completely because I've took part in the first number of races, except the last one. I think. Um, I think that's a lot of that's got to do with, I would say, the caliber of the drivers who are racing. Because I mean, from the very first beginning, you'll see the guys that they were racing were not like beginners. They are pretty accomplished racers in the Formula One format, so they're pretty used to the idea of this kind of racing. Um, I do like it as well. It kind of lends itself to my kind of style. Whereas the boys are probably bored of me saying it, but I'm always on about consistency. If you can be consistent over a race distance, it'll do you a lot of good. Um, so I know whenever I was racing in these Assetto Corsa leagues with the boys that it did get a little boring for a while because you could have a large gap in front of you, and or not even a large gap. You can have like a say 2 second gap say ahead of you and a 2 second gap behind you, and it's really difficult to close the gap on the guy in front of you
Yeah,
because he's so consistent. But equally, the guy behind you is not catching you, so it does, as you say, get a bit like a procession, and you kind of just switch off, which is when you'll see the action because people then start switching off. I switched off eventually in some of them, and that's only then when you really can catch someone that or they'll make a mistake.
yeah,
But I think that could probably be solved if there was more racers, potentially. I don't know. Like when you've got a large track like this, Road America seems like a reasonably big track or a long track, and we're only really going to have 8 active drivers. So that's a large track to generate quite a significant gap between each of the drivers. So quite possibly it could be just another train session here.
yeah. Well, we're looking like we might have a race on our hands because Danny, he's pole. Qualifying's now over. Um, the timer has run out, so Danny is on pole with 1:30.388, but Terror Incognito very close behind. Oh, as I say that, Danny just Danny just set a new fastest lap there, a 1:30.079, which is point 0.4 ahead of Terra Incognito, with Dead Pixel right behind him, splitting up Terror and Thimo. Timo in fourth there. Cursed is a bit off the pace with a fifth. Sixth, Triton, Popo Gamer seventh. And in last position then is Jesse, with a, yeah, 1:34.5, I believe.
I think it's important to note, Chief, that the different tire strats though as well.
Yeah, that's gonna be good for you to be on board here because I don't really get the tires in this game. Timo has tried to educate me, but it's good to have you here because you can give me first-hand account then on the tire status.
I'll try, but basically I think that the C3 is a softer compound than the C4, so effectively it'll be faster.
Yeah,
Um, but just on those the top three, Dale Pixel has really impressed me in the last couple of races. I mean, he's really picked, unless he's got previous experience in this game, but he's really picked it up from what I've seen and just started progressed like massively from like near the back. I think his first race to now he's qualifying third above Timo, who's like a lot of experience in this.
yeah, he's kind of. Oh, here we go. The guys are on the grid. Let's get down to the grid then.
Okay.
Okay, the drivers are lined up. There is a 40-second count timer on the counting down right now to the race start. So yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah, Dead Pixel, he gave me a heads up before the race. I think I was commentating the race and I never mentioned he had a really good finish. So we'll keep an eye on him today, and hopefully, you never know, maybe a podium's on the cards for Dead Pixel, and he can get the praise that he has missed in past races.
The lights are on, Chief, at the moment I can see.
Yep, the lights are on. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red lights are up, and we are go for Road America. Oh, I think my car just got in the way of someone there. Sorry.
So into
Okay.
the first corner, Danny runs a bit wide, but he's secured P1 at the moment, but there's got a fight further back for the McLaren and the...
Yeah,
Oh
looks
yeah,
like
we got Thimo and Terra really battling side by side.
yeah, Timo's got Terror. He's just slightly ahead here, but yeah, and they've both got DRS open here, so I believe this is a circuit where you can have DRS open at any point, is that right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, so Timo up into second, great start from him. Dead Pixel down to fourth, so a bit of a change of position there. And we have Clara as well in game, so he's got a great start there from last position up to P6. I think he actually started behind me there, and whenever I quit out, oh, what happened?
Jesse just took out his teammate.
Oh no. Popo and Jesse are off the track. I'm sure there's damage picked up by both cars there, so might see a pit stop from them too. But up
Yeah,
front,
I think Jesse just his break point and just wheeled into the back of him.
yeah, so we're back up front here. We've got the top four guys are pretty close together. Triton's hanging in there as well. He's only almost 4 seconds off P1 at the minute. But Thimo is locked in with Danico. He's just 1 second off his pace at the minute, so Danico isn't running away with this race just yet. We're on lap 2, so plenty of action still to call yet. Popo
Yeah,
Gamer.
I think either Danny made an error or just Timo's on the ball, because Danny was just taking off at the start and Timo was starting to close this gap. So I don't think this is any mistake by Danny. I just think Timo's got just this raw pace at the moment. He's really catching it.
Oh, Danny going wide there. Might have lost a little bit of time on the exit of that corner. Thimo able to close up a bit, so he's at 0.6 is the gap currently. And I think with Danny, the only question I have for Danny during this race is he able to be consistent over the full 24 laps? Because we've seen before, Danico is a very fast driver, but sometimes he just gets caught up in incidents and it can cost him a lot of positions. But
yeah, concentration is key in this, especially in the Assetto Corsa. So as I was saying, it is very easy to just switch off this connect.
yeah, we've got our
That is,
first
of course.
DNF. Clara's out of the game. I'm not sure what happened there, but it means 8 drivers remain in session. Yeah, Thimo is still hanging on to the back of Danico, so we do have a race on our hands, and Terror is hanging in third position with Dead Pixel behind. Let's see what kind of lap times we're getting here. So Thimo actually with the fastest of the first 4. So Thimo is on a charge right now.
Yeah, Timo's got that gap down to just over half a second, so Danny's gonna have to be on his toes.
Yeah, if Thimo can keep the pressure on him, it's gonna maybe force a mistake out of Danico. We'll wait and see. Jesse is in the pits, as is Popo Gamer, so they'll be well off the pace and pretty much out of this race for now. So really, it's going to be a practice session for them from this point onwards, I would say.
Yeah, I don't know how long Popo and Jesse will keep running then after this, because as we were just saying earlier, if you drop back that distance, trying to recover is nigh on impossible.
Yeah, and then you risk getting in the way of other drivers who are still in the race. I've seen that happen a few times during races where back markers cause big issues for the front runners. But yeah, I really like this circuit. Actually, it seems quite flowy, you know. It's very open. Terror's dropping off a little bit here.
Sorry?
Terror's dropping off the pace a little bit here. Although, in saying that, he was faster than Thimo on that lap. Danny set the fastest lap of the race so far, 1:32.177.
Yeah, but bear in mind, if I can get my tires correct, C4 is a harder. Is it harder or softer? I can't remember. I think. Oh, I need to check. Give me 2 seconds.
Okay, just while he is checking that, Popo Gamer is, oh yeah, he's moved into 7th position there. Jesse struggling to get the car straight here, and currently pulled up on the side of the track. And he's gone to the pits, so he's really out of this race right now. Struggling big time, but up front we've got Thimo locked in. He's still under 1 second on this gap to Danny. So we just saw, I believe that was Popo Gamer off to the side there, staying well out of the way of the front runners, which is great to see. Let these guys get on with the battle. Dead Pixel also hanging in there in 4th position, only 4 seconds off Danny currently. We see him swing the car in to the corner, try to get as much exit speed as possible. All the top 4 guys hitting 132s consistently. So really, I think it's going to be about who makes, who blinks first here, who's going to make the first mistake. Dead Pixel looks like he has the car planted to the circuit. Curse with a 133.6, bit off the pace. Popo Gamer back in the pace there, sorry, P7.
Yeah, I'm finding difficulty trying to remember. I think the C4s are a harder compound than the C3s. With that knowledge, then Danny and Thimo will have to pit sooner before Terror. He can go longer.
Okay, the C3s are the red tires then, and C4 are yellow, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, just for the viewers, yes, all drivers will need to make 1 pit stop before this race is over. So we'll see different tire strategies playing out here. We've got Thimo on the C3s, the softer tire compound. Danico, do you know what Danico's running? I can't see.
Yeah, he's on the C3s.
C3.
Thimo and Danny have got the C3s, Terror behind's got the C4, so Danny and Thimo are going to have to pit before Terror. So there's still a good play in Terror's hand,
Yeah, and Thimo's just chipping away at that lead at Danico there. He's won a little bit faster, 0.1 faster, so this race is still on. This is great to see. There's 4 drivers currently within 5 seconds of each other. Danico's still out in front commanding this race, but Thimo is keeping him honest. Terror also just sitting tight. I wonder, Terror, we know Terror is a very, very good racer. I wonder if he's just playing a patient game here, just taking it easy, taking care of the tires.
I think he is, because he knows he's got a longer tire strat on. So I think he's probably playing it safe. And although we've got a good battle further behind. Kirst is right on the back of who's that,
yeah.
Triton?
Yeah, well spotted, yeah. Looks like
Triton let him go.
Yeah. Triton's obviously struggling a bit. Looks Kirst, I think it takes him a wee while to get up the pace, but it looks like he is getting some pace out of the car right now. He's moved up into 5th position, but Thimo is closer than ever to Danny. 0.6 is the gap.
But yeah, he's maintained this kind of just over half a second gap. So these guys seem to be kind of neutralizing each other. Oh, the guys are coming out of the pits. They weren't compromised, so that's alright.
Yeah, Popo Gamer pulling well out of the way there. Taking a bit of a shortcut, turn 1.
So Danny's going to have to try and navigate past Jesse here, so hopefully Jesse obliges and moves over. Not too difficult spot too. Danny's just approaching the back marker now. Yeah, and Jesse wisely gets out of that one. Doesn't want to get involved in this top 3 fight. Well done, Jesse.
Yeah, fair play to him. Fair play.
And Danny has actually won out of that little bit of traffic. He's now extended his gap, what's that, by 3/10?
Yep. So the gap's over a second, but DRS, yeah, DRS, you can use it anytime really. So I mean, I think you can't use it in corners or you're just gonna lose the back end. So is it just about once you get the car straightened up, you just open up DRS? Huh?
Yeah, so on these tracks where you can use it anywhere, it comes down to just how much balls you've got, to be honest, because as you say though, if you open it in that corner, then you are going into the wall big time. So it's who's going to be the bravest, but probably the smartest use of it as well. Something I've wondered about it as well is if you open the DRS and then coast around the corner, is that often question, is that any quicker? Probably not, because then you see the DRS open, you're getting rear downforce.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you want the car planted at the back on the exit.
But that gap that we've seen between Danny and Thimo is closing down again, so the only thing that tells us is that Thimo is just a fraction quicker at the moment. Just a fraction, but it's not enough to, as you say, get him close enough to make the pass. But he is getting that gap back down.
Yeah, I think the pit stops are going to be crucial here.
So I just think how close Terror is to these two guys, it's going to really play into his hands. Considering he can stop later.
Yeah, he's a real opportunist, isn't he, Terror? He, you know, you think he's like in third here, but you know he's not fighting for the win, but he's playing a long game. We know we've seen that in previous races where he'll just hang back and you know he just knows when to make a move and when not to. So he knows he's got more life in his tires, and he wants to just kind of keep up with these guys until they pit, and then just put the hammer on. Oh, there's Jesse is out of the server as well, so we're down to 7 drivers now.
Yeah, I can imagine Popo, he probably... Although he's got the C1s on, yeah, that's the harder compound, so he's just going all the way to the end. Probably going to hope and try and pick up a few points, so... Fair play to him if he finishes the race, Popo, because that takes some kind of motivation to do that when you're so far back in this game. Although in saying that, is Triton lapping him, or is that for position? Triton's catching him.
Yeah.
Popo is in front of Triton on track, so surely that must be being lapped, is it?
He must be lapping him, yeah, he's 2 laps down, yeah. Just shows you how far back he really is there. So it looks like
that gap is closing between Thimo and Danny, Chief now.
Yeah, just about to say, it looks like a 2-horse race at the minute. And Thimo is closer than he's ever been, so I think it looks like Danny is faster in the first sector, and then Thimo catches him in the second and third.
He's right on the back of him now. But I don't think, no, I have to disagree with you, Chief. I don't think it's a 2-horse race. I still think Terror is in for a great shot here.
Oh yeah, we can never count Terror out now. We'll see here, like the gap again, like this is sector 1, so the gap is increasing here. But as I was saying, it looks, oh, Thimo getting a bit wide there on the exit. But sector 2, sector 3 seems to be able to close up quite a lot, so Dead Pixel is the first of the front runners to pit. He is in the pit, and Curse has actually moved up into P4 then, due to that pit stop. Comes out just ahead of Triton there in P7, so Dead Pixel down to P5, but he has put on the C4s. and we'll be running those to the end of the race.
So one thing about this game, Chief, is the tire temps. The tire temps are, I believe, I could be wrong, but in my experience, they are the holy grail of this game. And if you do not warm up your tires correctly, or if they are not at their peak temperature, you will struggle. You'll spin, you'll lose grip,
Oh,
you'll go
Danny
off
Co's
track.
out. Danny Co is hit the wall. Sorry, Tipsy, but I just saw that Danny Co lost the car, went straight into the wall, and no doubt has picked up a lot of damage there. I mean, that's another thing I wanted to ask you about is damage. How does that work? Say you have a heavy impact like that. I mean, what ways that affect your pits? I think Danny Co. Did he just go past the pit stop as well?
So I don't know if they've changed anything, but I know that you take you do take damage from what I remember, because I remember seeing it flashing up on the wee symbol. I can't remember whether it has an effect on the car. I think it may have. But what I do know, I think it does affect the car. But what it means is that whenever he comes in for his pit, he's going to have a longer pit naturally, because it has to repair that the amount of damage on his car naturally. But the more damage you have in your car, the longer it takes to fix it effectively.
Right. There's been an issue with Terror in the pits as well. He pulled up at a pit box, and he was moving back and forward, and then he's moved again to another pit box. So I'm
Yeah,
not sure what happened there.
yeah, I've experienced that. So whenever you're coming into the pits, you have to stop in the right place. And if you overshoot it, then the car doesn't take your car for the pit. So you
Yeah,
usually have to back up.
I think he went to the wrong pit box altogether because he ended up moving to like 10 pit boxes ahead of him after his initial stop there.
Well, without knowing his onboard, I don't know, but it would sound like that he's probably overshot it, either reverse back for it or drive forward. But yeah, it's
Yeah,
happened to me.
I think he would have lost quite a lot of time there. I think maybe 10 seconds. So he may actually, yeah, he's actually behind Pixel now by quite a margin. So he is the biggest loser from that round of pit stops. Danny Co is still out on track. So yeah, that's interesting. I thought he would have pitted, with that damage.
Well, this is just playing perfectly into Timo's hands. Like he's now got a 7.7 gap from Danny, probably even more from Terror because of his issues with the pit. So
Yeah.
yeah, look at the gap. What's that? Car's 31 seconds. Oh, we're gonna see Terror shortly here. What's his gap to P1? So Dead Pixel's 39 seconds from P1, and Terror is behind him. So, oh my goodness. Terror is 53 seconds.
Yikes.
Almost a full minute.
Yeah,
That could potentially pretty much be his chance of a win pretty much over. Although, again, you can't depend on anything happening in this game, because, as we already seen with Danny, you can really lose this car really quickly.
Yeah, so that pit stop issue has cost him, I would say 20 seconds maybe. So it's going to be hard to recover from, as you say. Danny Co, he's had an off himself.
He
Thimo
was in the pits.
is in the pits indeed, yeah. So let's see if he can get a quick pit stop, because I think, I mean, the race win is in his hands right now, but it's really done to him to lose.
So if you're on board with Thimo here, you'll see he has to stop in the box. They are, and then they'll take him.
Yep.
Oh, that was a quick, slick pit for him. So
And Danny
his
Co
tires,
also in the pit, sorry.
yeah, I don't remember. I think you can maybe have an option whether you want to, whenever you come out of the pits, is your tires pre-warmed for you or not. But if they're not pre-warmed, then of course he's going to have to be careful this opening lap, because you can lose it so easily when they're cold.
Okay, so all the pit stops are out of the way then, so we have a completely new order of drivers here. So it's Thimo in first, second now is Danny, and third we've got Dead Pixel. He's on for a podium today if he can keep it together. Terror is quite a while back. He's 11 seconds back behind the Pixel in fourth because of that pit stop issue. The Pixel getting a wee bit wide there on the exit, so lost a bit of time there. We may see Terror challenging him for that P3 position before the end of the race. There's only 11 laps left, and then final, the final runners there are Cursed in fifth, Triton sixth, and Popo Gamer 2 laps down in seventh. So yeah, this is Thimo's race to lose right now.
If we have any eagle-eyed people watching, or have anyone watching for that matter,
Hi, Mom.
they may have noticed that Thimo started on the super softs, effectively the super softs, or the red wall tire, pitted for the red wall tire, and Tara also put 2 sets of soft on. Now, as we all know, Formula 1 rules, you must change your different compound, but Assetto Corsa is not like that. I think you can just put on the same content, or the same compound, as many times as you want. So, in case anybody's wondering that, Thimo was basically going for 2 super soft tires.
So tell me, why would you not just opt for the 2 runs on a super, the softest tire compound?
Well, if you're talking about the C5s, then I would imagine the supers, the ultras, effectively.
Yeah.
Probably just because they just wouldn't last. They just wouldn't last to the end of the race.
But say the guys here are going for 2 super soft stints, but some of them are going for 2 soft. Why would you opt for the slower, or the softer tire compound then?
Well, I don't know if I can answer that accurately. I suppose it comes down to driver preference, but I suppose effectively the softer, the C3s that the tire was on, although it may be a little slower, not by much, because you can see his times relative to the boys on the C4s. It may be slow in that respect, but it's a more consistent. How could you put it? He's probably more able to consistently set fast times for the duration of the tire life, as opposed to maybe the guys on the red wall who initially obviously said a couple of quick times, but then slowly start dropping back a little bit.
Yeah.
That's just me going on my little experience of the game and maybe general common sense. But in saying that, Terra doesn't seem to be, or not Terra, sorry, Thimo doesn't seem to be losing that much from what I can see on these tires. So I don't know, maybe it's just driver preference. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Well, Danny is closing in on him. Danny set a 132, Thimo 133 in that last lap, so that gap is coming down. It's 5.8 currently, so Thimo has got work to do.
Popo's off track. He just touched the tire wall. He's still off track at the moment. Just got the tail end of it. I think he just overshoot the corner.
That final corner, yeah, looks like he's thinking about going into pits there, but he stayed out.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Popo retire. Yeah, a wee bit of a shake of the wheel there. I think he's disconnecting here mentally in this race, which this is what this game does to you. Whenever you're so far back and the people ahead are just so consistent, you just disconnect. Yeah. I'm running on, like I said, I'm running on board with Popo here. Yeah, he doesn't look in it anymore. And you can't blame him really. I mean, his race was kind of spoiled by start, getting hit by that from the rear.
Yeah.
Kind of just ended it.
But I always like it when guys just continue on instead of just quitting out, because at the end of the day, it's free practice. You're in a race.
Exactly.
You can still work.
And you can always pick up a point. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The amount of times I've won, I've got P10 in the dying corners of a race.
Yeah. I was just thinking that actually as I was saying it. You did that a few times actually.
Yeah, it's always feels really awesome. Cause it's been a few races where I'm like, there's no point continuing. I might as well just quit and, for whatever reason, just plod on, and it comes together in the last lap for some reason. So never give up.
Yeah, well, I think if you just effectively feel you're racing for nothing, it's easier to quit then. You know, I'm last and I'm like a minute away from the guy in front of me. So what's the point?
Cool
Different
gamer.
if you're. It's different if it's every point counts.
Yeah.
Like whenever you see me and Bants there in the previous game for the constructors, I mean every point counted to try and beat the Ferraris because they were formidable. So you just claw for every last point you could get.
Yeah.
But when you're so far back, like Popo, I mean, I don't blame him if he disconnects because it's so demotivating to be so far back on your own. It's just you might as well just play time trial on your own.
Yeah.
But Danny's
Poco
closing
gamer.
that gap to Thimo.
He is. He's consistently Danny's 132, whereas Timo is 133. So this we've got 7 laps remaining. So he's got 7 laps to close down a 4.8 gap. It's not out of the question. I mean, we may well have a race on our hands here down to the last lap. Let's see what Danny can do here.
7 laps, because for me, what they're on lap 16, and there's 34 laps.
Yeah, apparently they're gonna the race will end on the 24th lap.
Oh.
Yeah, I just read that earlier in Discord. But I'm looking, yeah, I kind of want Danico to catch up here and see if he can get past Timo. I think Timo's maybe just taking it a bit easier, you know, because he's got that lead, but he's got to be careful that he's not caught napping.
Yeah, and you can be sure that Danny's going to be pushing for all his might. I mean, you can't take nothing away from Thimo. He put his cars, you know, he got the jump. I think he qualified when he's qualified third. No, he didn't. Where did he qualify?
He was
Fourth?
second, or no, fourth? Fourth?
Yeah, because I think that Tara was second, and then it was Dead Pixel. So he had to get that fight done with Tara to get him into P2. He put the pressure consistently on Danny lap after lap, and potentially, I didn't see it, but potentially forced the mistake. So, you know, fair play to him for getting, you know, for where he is at the moment, he earned it. But, I mean, Danny must be feeling really, really frustrated at the moment because, I mean, he was dominating in practice and in quality.
Yeah, and here, I'm just saying here, Dead Pixel, he said a 135, and Terror just said a 132, so Terror is within touching distance of the third place now. So there's 2 battles developing here. Danny Co 4 seconds behind Timo now, and Terror Incognito is only
just over 3 seconds.
Yeah, 3 seconds. So that time is tumbling right now, and Dead Pixel is going to be feeling the heat. If he wants that P3, he's going to have to work hard for it.
And I'll tell you, for me anyway, and I'm sure Terror's probably experiencing this too, that he's worked his ass off to get back up to this position, and once you see that car within your eye shot, it gives you like an extra, I don't know, 10% motivation or 10%, I don't know, brake horsepower, because you've now got a target in your sights.
Yeah.
I'm actually running on board with Terror now, and you can see Dead Pixel. He will see him, and he will be going full guns blazing to catch that Renault.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, like, it works the opposite way as well, because Dead Pixel's going to see Terror in his rearview mirror, and that's going to be demoralizing for him.
He's going to try and start pushing now to try and extend that gap, but I mean, just by running on board with Terror here, he is catching Dead pretty quickly.
Yeah, 2 seconds now is the gap, and Danny Co's got, yeah, I think Timo's turned up the heat a wee bit there. He's maintaining the gap at 4 seconds. Like, yeah, Terror is closing in big time on Dead Pixel.
This is where...
I reckon a lap or two and we'll see a battle here for P3.
Yeah, this is where the action's going to be at the moment, yeah. Although just while we're waiting for Terror to catch up here, one of the things I'm not sure on yet, I've never known, is you see just on the bonnet of the car, where you can see on the left there's a blue light, and then on the right you see like a wee orange or red light flashing. I'm still not sure what that is.
Not sure.
It seems to be something to do whenever he brakes, you get the wee red light. Unless that means it's harvesting. Yeah.
Terror. Did he just set the fast slap there? Poo-Poo Gamer getting out of the way of these guys, but yeah, Terror is right up behind Dead Pixel right now. So we're riding on board with Terror at the minute. You can see this gap just closing on every corner. I wonder how much of a fight Dead Pixel is willing to put up here. What about Slipstream, Tipsy?
Yeah, I think it does have an effect. I think you can adjust it. You can adjust it in the server of how much of an effect you want it to have. Oh!
Yeah, Dead Pixel wide.
Pressure at the moment, and it just sweeps past. Oh, he goes off track. Half off track, Kai goes off track.
Oh, and he touched him on the rear, yeah, saw that. Dead Pixel just tagged Terror on the rear, and almost Terror was out there. So, not the cleanest of overtakes there. I mean, it was more on Dead Pixel there, but thankfully everybody survived and we can continue on here. But I don't know if Terror would have got any damage from that. I'm sure it gave him a bit of a heart attack, nonetheless. Yeah,
Terror went off track. I don't know if he's got damage or he's just a bit frustrated.
So lap 20 of 24, so only 4 laps remaining. Wimpy in chat there. Hello Wimpy, how's it going, mate?
Hello Wimpy.
Hope you're enjoying the show we've got on here. That was a great pass you would have seen there from Terror on Dead Pixel, I think. Oh, and up front as well, we've got some movement there. Danny is 3 seconds now.
Yeah, I was just going to say, he's shaved almost he has actually just over a second off Thimo, so Danny has stepped it up and he's pushing to catch Thimo.
Yeah, he wants this win. I think he's been after this win all weekend. So now that he's got Thimo in his sights, he can actually see him down the road there. That's going to give him that 10% boost you're talking about.
Oh yeah,
so
big time.
It's really down to Thimo. Is Thimo going to throw this away? I think this will be his. If Thimo can bring it across the line here and in first position, it'll be his first win of this season in the Assetto Corsa. So he will want that 100%. But Danny is going to try and cause a problem there. Curse is back in the pit there, so he's in for a second pit stop. So if things finish up as they are, Thimo will finish first. Danny's going to be second, Terror third, and Dead Pixel in fourth. Dead Pixel is hanging on to the back of Terror. He's got him in the sights there, but I think...
Yeah, Terror's just slowly eking his way just out of reach of yeah, I think Terror's pretty much secured that P3 now. Oh, Danny must have had a wee bit of an issue because he's lost 0.6 of a second.
Yeah, he dropped up back quite a bit there, so time is running out for Danny to get this done.
Oh, but Timo's coming up against a bit of traffic here, so how obliging is his teammate going to be?
Yeah, exactly. It's Triton in it and the other McLaren.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect Triton to... yeah, no, he backs out. No, that was... Yeah, they're past him already. So I wonder how Timo's feeling at the moment, that he's starting to sweat a little bit into his VR headset. Because he races in the virtual reality, which will be pretty cool.
Yeah, it's so easy when you're in this kind of position. You start thinking, oh, the race is in the bag, and then your focus kind of shifts a bit from the race, and that's when accidents happen, mistakes will happen. So I'm just going to stick with Thimo here in the final couple of laps and see what kind of shape he's in. He looks like he's got everything under control at the minute. Going a bit wide there.
Yeah, just to touch on what you were saying there, effectively the hardest part of any race is if you're P1 or even if you're in a podium position, it's the last couple of laps. If you know that there's a guy behind, probably faster or fresher tires, or even if you've got a time penalty and you're trying to maintain the 3-second gap, that's when the real pressure hits you. That's when it's really difficult because you're trying to make your car just will your car to last to the end, but also trying to maintain that good speed. So this is where the real action happens in a lot of these races, is the last 2 to 3 laps. In fact, that's when you're probably more likely to get an error.
Yeah, yeah. Just thinking that anytime I've been in that kind of position, I always seem to lose. You know, lose understanding of how to drive a car all of a sudden, and then it's like day one.
But just to back on track, Danny has a huge chunk out of Timo's lead. There was a 3.6 second gap. It's now down to 2.4 or 2.4.
Oh, and Thimo went really wide there. That's going to
Oh,
cost him the
Danny's
lap.
lost it!
Oh no.
Danny lost it!
Danny is already pushing the car too far. And it's just one over the line, literally there. So it's unfortunate for him. I don't think
Hopefully
Tara's
that
going to be able
wasn't.
to catch him now, but
Yeah, hopefully that wasn't commentator's curse. But just as soon as I said that, but you're more likely to make an accident. The last few laps, unfortunately, happened to Danny because I was looking forward to a bit of a scrap there for the lap.
yeah, that gives Thimo a lot of a very comfortable gap now. So he's just going to coast that car to the finish line. I think he's down to the 134s in his lap time there, so he knows he can just. It's the last lap, so he just needs to get across the finish line here.
Yeah, he'll probably be looking on his rear view mirror or the wee radar, and they'll see second place very far behind. And he just takes a big sigh of relief. No one misses it. And fully deserved, I have to admit, fully deserved for Timo. He didn't quite put it together for qualifying, but my goodness, what a start he got from what P4 up to P2, fighting side by side with his main rival Terror. Managed to get the job done on Terror, and then it was just kind of slowly creeping up on Danny, piling the pressure on lap after lap, and Danny ultimately succumbed to the pressure. We assume, I didn't see it, and since the Timo's took the lead, he's been just commanding all the way.
A
So
lot,
like, fully deserved.
absolutely, I couldn't agree more. A long time coming for Timo, I think. I mean, he's put a lot of work into this league, and it's good to see it pay off for him. Um, he's a very competent driver. I mean, I think the only thing with Timo is just the desire to practice and grind these tracks. But I think he's put in the time here, and it's paid off massively for him. So kudos to him as we see him come through the final corner, and he weaves the car in celebration. And he crosses the line in P1. Great stuff from him. Danny Co following slowly behind, and P2 crosses the line. Great race from him as well. I mean, he got that pole position and looked very commanding from the start, but as I kind of called it before, you know, a lapse of concentration, and it's cost him the win here, unfortunately. Terror and P3 with Dead Pixel. Very great race. Good race from Dead Pixel. He's really improved over the last series of races there. Oh,
Yeah,
oh, I was going to say he's moved up into P3, but no, yeah. He finished in P4 with Curse then. He's still on track, finishing his lap, but he will cross the line at P5 with Triton P6 and Popo Gamer in the last position, P7 then.
yeah, Dead Pixel's improved massively, as I was saying in the practice sessions so he has. So I don't think he's peaked yet. I think there's still a bit more performance to come from Dead Pixel, but you have to say what a recovery drive to a degree for Terror and even Danny. Whenever Danny lost it twice and he still managed to finish second, and then Terror was what 50 something seconds, excuse me, 50 something seconds back and fought back to get P3. So as expected, the top three drivers finished in the top three positions.
Yep, and we're doing the obligatory donuts on track, making me quite hungry here. Oh. Okay, so that's the race over then. I wonder if we can maybe grab some in the chat too. Let's see if we can get Timo Braun. I'm just gonna yoink him into chat here, so I'll probably get a mid-sentence. Hopefully he's not saying anything too risque. Hey Timo, I just joined you out of chat there. You're on the live stream. Just wanted to congratulate you on the win today. What a
Oh,
race for
thank
you,
you.
man. Very good stuff,
Oh,
man.
I'm completely done with everything, especially because when I told you that Danny had the measure of everyone, I didn't say that to sound like Mercedes style. I probably did a bit, but he was crazy quick. I think Slipstream thing holding me behind him for the first stint, and then he bottled it. Don't know if you saw that on stream, did you?
We just
Yeah.
caught the tail end of that one, yeah.
I was saying in the stream, Timo, that you just fully deserve that win because
Thanks.
you didn't obviously put it all together in quali, but your start was fantastic where you went from fourth to second, I think, and you were fighting Terror, and then you get into P2, you just piled the pressure on Danny. Ultimately, he made the mistake, and as soon as you took the lead, you just commanded it all the way. So, I mean, you fully deserve that win. Well done, man.
Yeah, thanks, man. Finally a win in league racing. It's been a long journey, more than a year now. And anything now, finally.
Yeah.
And it was a good race to win. Like, if you compare it to maybe Australia or something, I was close to winning there, but it wouldn't have felt quite the same because now we had, I think, 4 people who were pretty competitive. Like Danny, Tara, Pixel, and me. And so I think it was a really exciting race just from driving it. I was completely, how do you say it, electrified all race. I felt like, I don't know, I was shaking all the way, especially the last laps because for some reason in AC, maybe it's a me issue, I just, late in the race, I cannot get my tires to warm up. And they were cooling off and I heard that Danny's weren't, like that he didn't have that issue. And his tires were warm and he was coming closer and closer and it got to the point where I would just not turn on DRS and that kink because I was just scared of bottling it.
Yeah, I was actually saying on the stream, Timo, that the hardest part of a race, effectively, if you're winning or if you're leading, is the last few laps because you're trying to maintain that gap from the guy behind you who's catching you, and that's piling on the mental pressure, and you're just trying to will that car to survive. But I think, like I said before, you did a great job. Also, the other thing I said, maybe you could cast more light onto it because you've more experience in this game. Whereas from what I know of, from what I've done, the tire tips in Assetto Corsa seems to be the king. And if you're
what in Assetto Corsa? Sorry, I didn't know.
The tire temperatures.
Yes.
So keeping your tire, maintaining a good tire temperature is like the holy grail of Assetto Corsa. What would you really think of that?
It is certainly a factor, but I don't think I've got to the point yet where I'm actively really controlling it. Like later in the race when I noticed my tire times were going down, you know the long right-hander there before the final straight with the king? Yeah, that's the carousel. And I would try to give my steering as much lock as possible to overheat my tires because to get them out of the freezing zone. I don't know. I think it's something that makes a good driver to be able to control that. And unfortunately, I don't think I've quite gotten behind that. In Spain, you saw as well when I was bottling it all the time, like I spun 4 times. My tires were stone cold. So I mean, everyone who can control that is probably a very good driver. I should probably pick up that skill. Also, did you see what happened to Terra?
Yeah, something in the pits. I think he must have. Did he overshoot his pit stop?
I can explain because probably on the stream was a bit cryptic. In iRacing, there's no you just see your guy who holds his lollipop to get you into the pits, and in Assetto Corsa there's a fat red box there for you, and Terra played so much iRacing that he just drove to the first guy holding a lollipop and didn't realize it wasn't his guy, and then he spent a lot of time trying to get in there and wondered why they and then he realized, oh no. So that was very unfortunate. I think he definitely had a shot as well. He was crazy quick in the end. He lost like 20 seconds. I think I don't know where how far behind me he finished, but I think he also had a reasonable shot with how much I was struggling at the end. Not so Danny got closer and closer. I think he was the quickest out on track today.
Yeah, that pit stop issue that he had, he came out 50, what was it, 53, or well, no, it was more than that, I think it was about 57 seconds behind the lead, and he ended up finishing only 17 seconds behind, so he had mega.
Yeah, I think he pitted a bit earlier, so I might have to subtract the pit stop, but I think he was probably a second faster than I was.
Yeah,
In the second stint.
I actually caught all that on stream, the pit stop debacle, because I couldn't work out why he pulled up in his box and then his car kind of went forward a bit, back a bit,
Yeah.
and then he pulled out of that pit box altogether and moved to another one about 8 boxes up the road. And
Yeah.
yeah, that was about 20-second gap or 20-second loss of time there. Unfortunate for him, but he did really well to recover. Then he caught up with Dead Pixel, passed Dead Pixel, had a bit of a moment with Dead Pixel, almost lost the
Yeah,
car. I
I
think
got that, yeah.
yeah, Dead Pixel just tagged his back wheel and almost sent him into the wall, but thankfully he survived. But yes, congratulations again, man. That was very, very good to see you win finally. I know you've put a lot of work into this league, and it's finally paid off for you. So
Yeah,
hopefully,
thanks.
hopefully next week we'll see a return and a back-to-back wins for you, man.
It's Suzuka. I know myself I am like not bad at Suzuka, but it's like not my favorite track, and I know I think out of the F1 tracks, it's Terra's favorite track in general. Like I think it's his favorite F1 track minus Belgium, for example, and so he might be. You should probably look out for Terra there as well. I mean, there's barely any tracks where I don't have to look out for him, but yeah.
Yeah, Terrace is always good at this game.
He's just got the handling nailed and everything. I know that he and myself, we didn't do much practice prior to this, but I know the track pretty well. It's my track in Project Cars 2. I drove like, I don't know, 20 hours just in this track, but in GT cars. So I know the track pretty well. I just didn't know it with the car, which is probably what made me, what gave me such a good shot at winning today with that, yeah, with pretty little practice. On any other track, it would have turned out worse, I'm pretty sure.
Project Cars, I have to say, quality game, and it's a game that Bants absolutely love.
On that bombshell, I'm going to move you back, Timo. Okay, we will.
Yes.
I'll speak to you later. We're gonna bring in Dead Pixel, I think.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. Enjoy the rest of the broadcast. Bye.
Well,
Can I just make a wee mention? I think we need to give a wee shout out to Popo, because to get taken out in lap, I think it was lap 1, by your teammate, and to finish the race, I mean, fair play to him, because driving around in Assetto Corsa so far back on your own is not fun. So I think we need to give a wee bit of shout out to Popo for that.
yeah, good game, Popo. We hope to see you back for the future races, and you can only improve from there, mate. I've seen people struggling before. 2 laps down isn't that big a deal. I mean, I've seen guys like over 10 laps down on their first race, their debut race. So it's nothing to be ashamed of. And he's picked up some points. But also joining us on the broadcast here, we've got Dead Pixel, who finished P4 today. How's it going, sir?
All right, good. I Hulkenberg again, 3 times in a row.
Well, you know, P4 is nothing to be.
Yeah, no, it's a good result, but it's tantalizingly close. Lost it on the last lap in Germany, bottled it second last lap in Monaco. That was my own fault, and then just here I didn't quite have the pace.
Yeah, I mean that final stint we saw Terror was catching you pretty quick, and we were saying that you know, any driver, if you've got Terror closing in on you, it's a lot of pressure to be put under.
Yeah,
Terror, he's one of the most competent drivers you can be pitted against, and I know anytime I see him in my rearview mirrors, I'm just thinking, right, I best just move out of the way. There's no point fighting him. The guy's
well,
he's in another league.
Yeah. I was just hoping I could kind of keep ahead with my racecraft, but then we had the incident. Yeah, nah.
Yeah, that was very close to being a lot more serious than it turned out to be. I think he just tagged his back wheel there on the exit.
Yeah. See, what happened was I ran wide in turn one, so I knew he was going to have my inside for turn two. So I tried to pull the cut back, and I knew he was going to be sore on the apex being on a tighter line. And I was expecting him to be faster than he was and for it to open up more than it did because he had much fresher tires than I did because I undercutted him. So I expected that there would be just enough that I could get back under and use my straight line to kind of get back past, but it didn't quite work out. I thankfully didn't take him out, but it was pretty close.
Yeah, it was touch and go there, man. I was my heart was in my
Yeah.
mouth at that point. But yeah, great race overall from yourself. You
Yeah,
gonna,
thanks, man.
I think Tipsy was in there. You know, he's noticed how much you've progressed over the last bunch of races. So onwards
So,
and
yeah.
upwards.
Yeah, yeah. I remember the first race from Dead Pixel, kind of lagging at the back, but the progress that you've made, man, is remarkable. You go from the back to your. I mean, you qualify P3, and this is with Danny,
Yeah.
Tara, and Timo.
Yeah, I messed up my lap as well. I could have gone faster.
But I was saying in the stream, I don't think you've peaked yet. I think you've still got performance to find. So keep
Yeah.
grinding, man, and I think you can really mix it up with these.
Yeah. Try and carry Renault on my own while you're commentating.
Oh, feel the burn.
Sorry, didn't mean to call you out there. Just speaking.
Trying to light a fire under his ass there.
Yep.
Okay, well here.
Screw this
Water
country.
off a dog's back, man. Water off a dog's back. Let it go.
Right, well, thanks for joining us on chat, man. We're gonna send you back
Yeah,
into
sure.
general there and have a word with Ricardo Danny. See if we can
We
get.
gotta talk to Dan. Gotta talk to the Dan, man.
Let's see. Hey, it's the Gammon Man himself, Danny. How's it going, mate? You're on live broadcast.
We must have got him when he's in the toilet.
You know what? I'm gonna bring in Cursed because I think Cursed was
You can
saying.
always bet on Cursed.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
was a good interview.
How's it going, Cursed, man?
All right. Oh yeah.
I just saying in chat there, you're saying best race I've driven this season so far. So I mean,
Yeah.
how was it for you
Yeah.
then?
Yeah. Definitely was definitely the best race. In Monaco last week, I did get P2, but I was driving fairly poorly, to be honest. In Monaco, it was mainly the people around me making mistakes, and I got a very lucky P2. In all fairness, this race I'm very happy. I didn't, especially towards the end of the race, I was catching up the pace. I did a few mid 32s, so I don't think I was really that much off the guys out front. So yeah, in general, I'm very happy with the race. I did get a bit of clash with Clara. I fell behind most of the guys, and I managed to get my way back up to P5, and I was fairly comfortable. So yeah, in general, I'm fairly happy with the race. How it went.
Yeah, kudos, man. Like, I was saying to Tipsy, like I've always noticed you, like you kind of start off slow in Assetto Corsa, but as the race progresses, you can just see you putting in those purple lap times. So
Yeah.
it just takes you a while to get up to speed then, and you're pretty much on pace.
Yeah, I mean, I did pit onto the C5 tires. I think 4 or 5 laps for the end to try to set the fastest lap time. Surprisingly enough, the C5s weren't that fast. I think when I went maybe 2 or 3 tenths faster to do, I think, a low 32, which was maybe a tenth or two again off the fastest lap.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Tipsy, any questions for the cursed one?
Well, I'm actually eating a Magnum ice cream.
Oh God.
And you're not supposed to commentate when you're eating, so.
Yeah, I suppose so.
No, I
Especially
wanna.
when sucking on long sticks. I don't think it's very.
This is absolutely effing glorious, guys.
I think, Kurt, we should just stay silent and listen to the
ASMR of Tipsy
Yeah.
sucking on his ice cream.
I don't listen.
Actually,
fuck yeah.
actually, no.
Fairly hot, if I say so myself.
This is getting to be rated R. This one. Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us on chat, Kirst. We'll see you in future races. Hopefully, you can build on your great finish today. Some points on the table for you, man. So we will see you soon. Okay, take it easy.
Yeah, cheers, lads.
I wonder if Danny, are you in yet? Or are you still he's away to eat some gammon about you? I'm gonna bring Terror in see if we can get a chat with her, and then we'll wrap up the broadcast.
Yeah, I don't know what like with me like the C3. Oh, who's that? Is
Sorry,
that...
Terry.
Keep
Terry,
going, man. Keep going.
Alright.
Just getting started.
Sorry.
sorry,
Right.
Terry. I do
Yeah.
apologize. I just joined you in there. I should have messaged you, but yeah,
No, that's all right.
we're just wrapping up the broadcast. But thought we'll get you in. Danny's away from keyboard, I think. So we want to get your take on the race. How did you feel it went for you?
It went. It was a really mixed bag. I didn't get a lot of practice. I committed to the C4s early in practice and qualified on those tires, and it like halfway into the C3 stint. At the end, it was just obviously a very big mistake. I was much faster on the C3s, and I was able to reel the guys in front in. So that's lesson learned. Do more practice. Figure out which tire is better.
But don't be demoralising the man by saying you didn't get much practice. You went that quick.
Well, I mean, nobody else got much practice either, so it's it was. I think pretty much all of us just joined the server basically at the same time, having done no running about an hour and a half before, and we all sort of practiced together. So it was a level playing field as far as that was concerned.
Did you think your race was over when you had the collision with the Dead Pixel?
For about half a second.
Yeah.
Thankfully, he was very gentlemanly about it. He spun me, but then he righted me again. So like he hit me the first time, and then he sort of hit me and knocked me in the right direction. So it worked out.
Like punching someone in the face, then helping them back up.
Exactly, yeah, exactly. But no, it was, and yeah, the pit stop was just stupidity on my part. Basically, I think Thimo explained it on stream. Basically, like in iRacing, there's only one dude, and you stop at your dude, and everything's fine. And so I stopped at the first dude that I saw. He was the only dude there, which sucked because he was in a different part of the pit lane to the rest of them. And I stopped at the dude, and I was like, "Why aren't they changing my tires?" And then they didn't change my tires. And then I realized, like after 15 seconds had passed or whatever it was. But yeah, that was the end of my challenge to Danny and Thimo, at least. Although I don't think I would have got either of them, honestly. I think Danny and Thimo were quite a bit. Maybe with the second stint with the C3s, I might have been able to do something. But like certainly the first stint, I was trying everything I possibly had to keep up with them.
Yeah,
Danny had like they had genuine pace. Danny
actually had two issues. Two crashes in this race.
Yeah. I think he. I don't think he's used to being in that position. I think it's always difficult, and we were just chatting about it in chat just now. Like it's something every single driver of whatever game, whatever sim goes through at some point. You're leading a race. You know the guy behind you is as fast as you, and basically your job is to not make a mistake for 20 laps, and that is so daunting the first time you do it. It's terrifying.
Yeah.
So like, once you've gotten through that a few times, and Danny will learn from that for sure, and next time he'll be better equipped to deal with it. But like, it's only experience that makes that better, at least.
Yeah, I was saying that. Sorry, Tara, I cut off you there.
No.
I was saying that on the stream that just as soon as I said it, Danny then crashed. The hardest, effectively the most difficult section of a race is if you're leading and you've got like 2 laps to go, 3 laps to go, and you know the guy behind you's quicker or as quick, and you know he's got probably better tires. That's when the mental games start playing. You're trying to just will your car to survive. Then your race becomes really difficult. But what I would say also to touch on that as well is the guy in that position in P1, he's got all the pressure because he's got the most to lose, whereas the guy behind, he has nothing to lose really, other than second place. So he can just bomb it, push as hard as he can. And I think I remember hearing some of the real Formula 1 boys saying that being in P2, not too far away from P1, is the best position to be in because then you can just go full attack. So yeah, as you're saying, it just kind of experience kind of teaches you to kind of compartmentalize that and just will get yourself to the end.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think it is completely a psychological thing because like, and when you're in front, like just everything, you just become so self-conscious about what you're doing. Like you know that you can't make even a small mistake, otherwise the guy's going to be right on you. So you start driving differently. You start driving sort of either too conservatively or like certainly different from how you normally drive. And just the fact that it's different means you're not in rhythm, means you're not doing everything that you've practiced, and that just makes it more difficult by itself. Whereas when you're behind, you've got the guy in front of you, you see the small mistakes that he's making, and you get confidence from that, and all you have to do then is sort of be there and make sure you capitalize when they make a mistake.
Yeah, the few times I've been in that position is I completely forget how to drive all of a sudden.
Yeah.
It's
No,
insane.
it's completely like, I mean, the only thing that made it better for me was experience, and like I definitely make mistakes under pressure in that sort of circumstance, still. So like,
But would you agree, Tara? Something I mentioned on the stream as well is when you're going around a track after lap after lap, kind of on your own, it's very easy to disconnect or switch off to a degree. But whenever you see that guy within your eye shot, you can see his car. It kind of gives you almost like 10% motivation or 10% brake horsepower. You've got now a target in sight to catch them. I find that for me personally, when I'm racing and I can see a guy up ahead, it gives you just kind of more of incentive to nail a lap to catch him, as opposed to just kind of just go around on your own.
But yeah, I mean that was pretty much my second stint. I saw Pixel on the relative in front. He was like 10 seconds in front with 12 laps to go, and I was like, all right, now we absolutely have to push and like be at 100% every single lap. And I pushed very hard that second stint. And yeah, exactly what you're talking about. I think it gives you that motivation that you don't otherwise have.
Yeah, I think just to summarize, basically what we're saying then is that it's actually easier to chase than it is to lead.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's sort of balanced against that, and this is the case in Formula One as well, as the fact that there is a big advantage to actually being ahead in Assetto Corsa, in the sense that like the car behind has dirty air, and dirty air in Assetto Corsa is no joke. Like you cannot follow behind very closely at all. You need like a big pace advantage if you're going to follow behind somebody and then get in their slipstream. So you do want to be in front from like a tactical point of view, but psychologically it's really hard.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. So
yeah,
thanks for joining us on the broadcast. It's great to get your insight into the race.
Yeah, no worries at all. And thanks for doing the broadcast. I think hopefully we gave you a little bit of action.
Yeah, it was actually very enjoyable, and I think having Tipsy as a co-commentator really worked really well. Because I mean, I know Assetto Corsa there can be kind of lulls in the action here and there, and just to have Tipsy on board and giving us a kind of background into some stuff that I'm not really up to speed with, regarding tire temperatures, DRS usage, that kind of stuff. It was great to have him to fill in the gaps there, and I think he really kind of, made the broadcast all that much better. So cheers, Tipsy, for joining us today.
I don't know about that now.
Don't be getting it too big ahead there, mate.
I don't make many things much better, to be honest.
Yeah, man. I mean, I remember watching. I haven't watched this broadcast, obviously, but like I remember watching the tier 2 broadcasts, and like, and you and Bants were a great double team in that. Like it was, it was sort of almost sort of the sort of straight guy comedic duo type thing. It was really good, and like you got broadcasting experience now, so yeah, I'm not surprised to hear that promotion.
Yeah, but I can kind of waffle on a bit too much, then.
That's what commentating's all about. That's what I do every single time.
Well, if you want waffling, then I sign me up and I'll do it all the time.
Unleash the waffle. Okay, Tara, I'll move you back into general. Thanks again for joining us, mate. We'll see you next week. All of us.
Yeah, see you this week.
Tipsy, I have a wee treat in store for us. One last interview coming up. We're bringing in Popo Gamer 4000, the man of the moment, driver of the day, potentially, maybe.
This is Popo. You are my driver of the day.
Okay, thank you.
Because as I was saying, you maybe have heard, I have already driven in this league, as you know, with SED, and I have been at the back, and I have been a couple of laps down, and to try and finish an Assetto Corsa race that far back is torture. So the fact that you were able to, that you had the mindset to put your head down and even put on the hard tires to try and make it to the end, I have to give you 100% respect for that, because that is not an easy thing to do mentally.
I think I pitted like 4 times in the row on the first 4 laps. Because like every time I went on my out lap, and I just spun and crashed. I don't know what I was doing.
Unfortunately, your race kind of just came to a pretty much an end before it really started, because I just caught the tail end of it when Jesse must have missed his break point and he just touched the back end of you and you both went off track. And we were saying in the build up to the race that Assetto Corsa, once there's a gap, once there's a gap between drivers, it kind of stays that way. It's really hard to close a gap on a guy in this game. So whenever you drop that far back, I thought that's it. That's the game over for him.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I got a bit frustrated, but yeah, and lost some motivation after that.
Well, I mean, it's an easy thing. I mean, there's no shame in losing motivation because, again, I don't want to labour the point, but to being that far back in this Assetto Corsa, it's just retire because it's so demotivating. That's why I have to say driver of the day for me personally to finish that, because that is not an easy thing to do. Either that or you're just really bored.
Yeah, I was really like the other guys were like trying to keep me in the race, and I was like, oh, I can't do it. Like I was and like the last 7 laps or so, I think I did like 2 minutes times just driving around.
And then it can't be any easier when you're getting lapped.
No.
Like, not only are you really far back, but then they're lapping you. It's like, oh, flip's sake.
I was actually trying to see if I could maybe go for fastest lap because I only practice my quali runs. So I was like, yeah, I went on the C4 tire and then like when I was on my first lap, then I got lapped by everyone, and and then when I started my second go, then I spun and yeah, I was just nowhere.
But I would say keep at it, man. If they're gonna continue this Assetto Corsa League, then keep at it because practice really does benefit people in this game. And you've definitely shown the potential. I was saying about Dead Pixel, he hasn't peaked yet. There's still a bit of performance left in him, and I still think there's some performance in you as well. Just watching some of your laps, you're able to nail them pretty well. It's just the consistency you're kind of lacking at the moment.
Yeah.
So I think that if you just keep at it, you should start improving.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because you've definitely got the mindset to continue. If you're gonna finish that race, then.
Like it's also a track, like first time I tried that track and didn't do a lot of practice, so I hope to be doing some better results in the upcoming races.
Yeah, I think Suzuka. I think Thimo was saying Suzuka's next, so
yeah,
we track it. You should know that.
I think that's gonna be hard in this game for me. Maybe more like Canada, Hungary, Brazil is gonna be better for me. I hope.
Okay, well, thank you for joining us on the broadcast.
Yeah, thanks, man.
We'll see you in future races, hopefully. And as Tipsy was saying there, there's plenty of potential for you to get much better. So, yeah, that's the broadcast over. Tipsy, have you any final thoughts you want to
add? We're going to get Danny.
Danny, I think he's... I'll move him back in and see if he's available, but I think he might be away from the keyboard. Danny, are you about? And on that bombshell...
Maybe Danny's just really shy and he doesn't want to talk to us.
Yeah, maybe he's not very happy with how that race ended and he's taking a vow of silence or something.
That could be a good point.
Okay, well, I think that does this for now. Yeah, very interesting race. Hopefully we'll be back next week. We've got Suzuka lined up for Assetto Corsa, and there will, of course, be the 2SRL F1 season will be starting soon, as will the SLR Tier 1 and Tier 2, so stay posted. We'll be broadcasting all those races on the EGL channel going forward. We're very much looking forward to the new seasons on the F1 2019 game. Never know, we may well see Bants and Tipsy in the McLaren and Tier 1, hopefully, maybe. Maybe, we'll see. But yeah, stay posted. We will bring you news of that soon. And if you're
of course, Constructors Champions have to remain.
Yes.
Sorry, you have to remain.
How could we forget that? Yeah. Yeah. So there's actually an F2 race in the SLR going up now. So I am going to jump on to that. You're welcome to join me, Tipsy. That's it for the broadcast. Thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you again next week. Cheers now. Bye bye. Ta-da.